Miss Ashworth, I was worried sick about you. Are you alright? How did you get back?
I walked.
You saw something terrible in that fog, didn't you?
I saw a monster.
Oh, it's been another very trying day, shall we say. Well, I guess having taken care of, I guess technically that's 2 more parasites, I think. And the old woman at the beginning of the game said there would be 5 of them, I believe. So if that's true, we actually have only 2 more to go. I'm assuming it's now late in the day, so I guess Susan didn't want to wash up. Is that it? What happens if we try to leave? Oh yeah, I came here to take a bath. Alright. I guess I deserve a long hot bath.
Miss Ashworth, I need to ask you something. Can I come in?
I'm in the bath. Is it something important?
Yes, very important. The fate of the world depends on it.
I'm naked here, you know. Whatever it is, it can wait.
But it can't. I need to know, Miss A.
Well, tough. I'm trying to relax here. I want some peace and quiet, if you don't mind. And I don't like people seeing me naked.
Fine, not a problem. I'll just ask you through the door then. I'm cooking up some pancakes. What do you like on yours? We've got strawberry jam, maple syrup, and chocolate spread.
You're doing what?
Pancakes. You need some food, Miss A. When was the last time you ate?
I can't remember.
See, you need a good meal. That'll cheer you up.
Why would that worry you?
You're funny, Miss A. You want to know why? Because I care about other people. And I believe nothing spells TLC better than sweet pancakes and a cup of hot green tea.
Mitzi seems like a really nice person.
Is that the reason you're interrupting my bath?
But of course. The world will just cease to exist if you don't let me know this.
Well, that'd be fine by me. I don't really care about the world. And I want blueberries on mine.
Blueberries? Where am I going to take blueberries from?
Don't know. You asked me. And I just really like blueberry pancakes.
You're impossible, Miss A.
What jam did you say it was?
Strawberry.
That'll do. I'm so full up. Where did you learn to cook like that?
My dad taught me. He was the king of pancakes.
I'll wash up, if you like.
I can do that. I like washing up.
You do? Really?
Really. I'm a good girl. And this is my treat for you, after all. Looks like we've got the rain back. I almost felt like something was missing.
Do you think it will ever stop? I mean, what if it doesn't?
Then it will rain for 1,000,000 years.
I'm not sure I get it. What's the point of that? What did you say it was called again?
For the 3rd time. Social network. Why is it so difficult to remember?
I just find the whole idea really stupid. Why would I want to tell people that I'm having a shit day?
So maybe you would feel better for sharing it with your friends.
But I don't have any friends.
No, you wouldn't with this attitude.
You, on the other hand, seem to have 274 of them? How is that even possible?
Well, what can I say? I'm very likable. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, they come every time you play the piano?
Yeah, I don't really play that often. Mostly when I feel really sad. Maybe I actually play more often than I thought.
You saddo. I know a song written just for you. Remind me to play it to you sometimes. It'll cheer you up. It's called All Flowers in Time Bend Towards the Sun.
Flowers, yeah. Of course they do.
Do you know it? It's written by Jeff Buckley. He would have been bigger than Cobain, you know.
I never heard of him.
Probably didn't. He drowned in Mississippi when he was only young. I've created a profile for you. Maybe now you'll learn how to use it.
What am I going to do with it?
Just look for people you know. Invite them, talk to them. It's a good way to keep in touch. Maybe you could refresh some old friendships?
I don't know. I can't think of any names. I probably never really cared enough about anybody.
How about people you went to school with? Your old colleagues from work?
Nope. Friends. 0. At least they're right about one thing.
I'll add you later. That'll be a start. I made us some coffee. Sit down and talk to me for a moment. I'm having a bad day. Could do with some company.
Sure. Coffee sounds great.
So I take it from those scenes that at least, I don't know, maybe at the very least a couple of days have passed, if maybe not a few, since she got back from the crazy people's house. So it's nice that they were able to have at least a couple normal days.
What's wrong, Mitzi?
Well, I'm not sure how to get started with this thing. I've been thinking about it the last few days and I just don't seem to get any good ideas. Maybe I've been a fool all along, deluding myself that I could find where that sick bastard is hiding.
Maybe I can help you. I have lots of free time, you know? Last night, I made this, well, map. I made a map. This is our building, all 4 floors. There are 2 flats on each floor.
You really want to help me? That's so great, Miss A. How will I ever pay you back for this?
I'll think about it later. But we haven't found him yet, have we?
No, but I feel that together we stand a chance. So, let's talk about it. What do we know already?
Let's see. Yep, first things first.
We can cross off our flat, of course.
Yep, good. That leaves us with only 7 flats.
Also, there's an old man in flat 5, right opposite the Bryans' place. I'm pretty sure one of the flats is empty.
Which one?
I think it's the one on the first floor.
Okay.
I know that rude, bald guy lives in flat 6. I told you about him, didn't I?
I think so. It's that guy who came complaining about the noise, right?
Right. That's Brian Palmer.
Let's mark him on the map. What else do you know about him?
Not much. Wait. I remember some woman lived there with him. I've not seen her for ages. They must have split up.
Could he be our potential suspect?
Well, you never quite know, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Think so. Okay. Let's take a closer look at him then.
There's an odd married couple that lives next door.
Yeah? What do you know about them?
Well, the man is called Joe Davis. He seems nice, quiet type, but I heard him shouting a couple of times, and he sounded almost like a different person. Like a madman, you know? I gather they must have some serious relationship problems, and they're trying to sort them out behind closed doors. It's impossible to hide this personal dirt from your neighbours. I know it's none of my business, but I can't just plug my ears and pretend I don't hear what's going on there.
And the wife?
Ivy Davis. Or is it Sophie? I can't remember now. Anyway, she's very polite. Always says hello when we pass by each other in the hall. She's one of those size 00 ladies. So skinny you could easily take her for a coat rack. A walking skeleton. I bet she only eats a leaf of lettuce a day, or nothing at all. She looks quite ill, actually.
Anything else?
They used to have a cat, Lucifer. I often wonder what happened to the poor little chap.
And if you have played the game before this, known as Downfall, then all of those names she just said should be very familiar to you, and you should have an idea about what apartment you're in now as a player. But you'll see a little bit more of that when we actually explore that particular apartment.
Sometimes I hear a dog barking on floor 1.
First floor? Well, you said one of the flats was empty.
Yes, which means the owner of the other flat keeps a dog. I hate dogs.
Tell me about it. Noisy, smelly creatures.
Can you imagine the Eye of Adam being a dog lover?
Can't see why not.
In that case, it might be worth looking into.
Apologies to the dog people out there in the audience. I myself am a cat person, but I hold nothing against people who have dogs. Let's see.
There are strange noises coming from flat 7.
Interesting. What kind of noises?
Like screaming, explosions, guns. Then there are threats and insults shouted very loudly at someone.
I think I might know what's going on there, but it's worth checking anyway. Do you know the person who lives in that flat?
No, I don't. It's the top floor. I have no business going up there. All I know is what I overheard from neighbours' gossips. There's a woman with a baby living upstairs.
Your husband?
I'm not sure. I hardly ever see her. When I do, it's usually in the hall, when she's pushing a pram with a baby inside. She always has tons of shopping hanging from it. I nearly asked her once if she needed help to carry it upstairs.
And?
I hesitated for a moment, and by the time I offered, she grabbed the baby and the shopping bags and marched off upstairs. Okay, I think that's all that we know at the moment.
You mentioned a pram. This reminds me, I found an old baby pram in my bedroom among all the stuff. Do you have kids, Miss Ashworth? You never talk about it.
No, I don't have children.
But you did, didn't you? Come on, Miss A, it's all right. You can talk to me about it.
Do you see any kids here? I must have gone blind, because I can't see any myself, and you're acting like this place turned into a fucking preschool. Why don't you just leave it alone?
Oh, please, you can't do that. I'm feeling really guilty now. I didn't mean to upset you. I just really want us to be friends. I swear to God I could do with one.
I'm not very good at friendships. I thought that was rather obvious.
Friends should trust each other, you know. I told you about Jack and everything else. Why can't you just do the same?
You told me about Jack because you wanted to. I didn't force you, did I? My private stuff is nobody else's business. Why does everyone want to remind me of this all of a sudden? Isn't 10 terrible years of suffering enough to let go and never bring it up again? Even for me?
Miss Ashworth, I'm so sorry. Your mug, it was an accident.
You know, just leave it. I don't even care anymore.
Well, I guess so much for drinking coffee ever again. Hello?
Who is it? Flowers. What's that in your other hand? Go away. Leave me alone.
Whoa, what's going on here? There's that crow again, which makes me think that poor Susan has died again and is back in the in-between world. So I'm going to do a quick cut here. When we come back, we'll explore around this new part of Purgatory. Okay, so with that quick cut, let's have a look around here. Adventure gaming rules. Start to the left. Well, this side kind of looks like her apartment, but this side definitely not. Here's the door to the second bedroom. Can't go any further that way. This room. Why did it have to be this room? It's locked. Okay. I wonder if this room was designed by Peter Jackson. There's a lot of skulls here. Oh! There's suddenly a wall here. It seems I'm trapped in my own living room. Well, it's not really my apartment. I hope it isn't. I don't think I'm strong enough to break through this wall. Uh-oh. This doesn't bode well. It seems I'm trapped. Oh, yeah. Same explanation as before. Don't have any inventory yet. A rag. An old torn-up piece of cloth is resting on my coffee table. What's that? There's a knife underneath. Good. Knives have been quite useful lately. It's true. Examine. Large butcher's knife. Makes me think about Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. That famous shower scene scared the hell out of me when I first watched it as a young girl. Okay. Mirror. Examine. Strange. The back of the mirror seems loose. Could there be a secret compartment behind it? Well, I'm guessing we're going to use the knife again. Ah, I knew there was something hidden there. A key and... what is that? A lever? Look at the key. This is the key to the spare bedroom. Currently, Mitzi's room. Pull lever? Mace. And you might recall, this was actually the same weapon that we had the option of using on Dr. X back in Chapter 2. Let's see if we can use this to break down the wall. That worked. I guess here we'll use the small key. And we're back in the candle room. You can see that we have our two candles here are still blown out. So now remember, this candle was blown out when Susan resurrected from trying to kill herself with pain pills or sleeping pills, and this one when Dr. X stabbed her to death. But you notice that we didn't actually come back here when Susan blew her brains out with the Magnum. Instead, basically, she just popped back in eventually, and we didn't, well, pop back to life, and we didn't actually get to this room. So that's a little bit of a mystery. Because it seems that she doesn't always have to come here and blow out a candle every time she dies. So I always thought that was a bit interesting. But anyway, in this case, we do have to blow out a candle again. Same explanation as before. Alright, so we'll see if that is able to have us escape. Try this wall. In any case, I just want to point out that I believe it is never actually made clear, and I've asked this to you guys, asked you guys about this before, about whether or not Susan knows that when she blows out a candle, that the scene that comes afterwards, happens. We don't know if that's just our point of view as a player, or if she's seeing that as well. But it's from the description, not the descriptions, from what we've seen so far, it would appear that almost every time, I'm not going to say every time, but almost every time it seems, in order for Susan to come back to life, someone else has to die somehow. We had the guy hang himself, we had the guy die at the hospital, it seems, and we had someone right there that may have apparently died in a car wreck. Alright. So we'll use the mace here. Let's try this door now. Well, there's something that would make H.R. Geiger proud. Monster. What is this thing? I think the worst thing about it is that it looks a bit like me. And you see, if we look at our reflection, it's actually Susan in her hospital gown from Chapter 2, kind of lurching back and forth under the power of that drug that the hospital was giving some of the patients. Nothing we can apparently do there so far. Locked, but there must be some way to open this padlock. Alright, we have a 3-digit number code. And of course we don't know the code now. Nothing to the left. We have a bunch of junk. I can't see anything useful there. Just old parts of boats and empty barrels. Ship in the distance. It's hard to tell from the distance, but it looks completely abandoned. Of course, that fits with our theme, because whenever we go to this in-between realm, except for the old woman, there doesn't seem to be anyone about. It would probably just fall apart if I got into it. It's so old and rotten through. Okay, I can't escape on the boat then. And this took me, I remember when I first went through these screens, it took me a few minutes to see it, but you see here that the fishing net that's strung up, there's a hole cut in it that looks a little bit like a 3. If we go over here, you can see that the boat in the background and the pipes in the foreground make an 8, and over here, a mast, I think it's a mast in the foreground, and the other one in the background makes a 4. So as you might expect what those 3 numbers are for. Sign? I can't understand most of it. It's all technical stuff. Wait, what's this? Minimum passenger handling capacity 2. How bizarre. Indeed, I have known many elevators with a maximum occupancy, but not a minimum occupancy. An elevator. Would it take me under the surface of the sea? It doesn't look very safe, but it might be the only way out of here. And as you might guess, if we try to use it now, with just us, it doesn't work. So, as much as I just said about there being no one else around, we better find someone, or else we won't be able to take the elevator. Let's go ahead and try out that numerical code. Open sesame. Now you notice that is not a reflection. There's actually someone who looks like very much like Susan just on the other side of the glass panel there. Machinery. I've seen this machinery before when I first visited this wicked world of the dead. Back then, it was my blood that turned it on. So, you may get some idea about where this is going, but if not, you're going to find out pretty soon. There's a small hole in the side of the panel. I guess I need some kind of lever to operate it. Or lever, depending on your point of view. So we can use our mace as just a simple lever here. So let's operate it. Okay. Move the lever. See what happens if we do this one. Operate. Ah. Okay. So, if we need to get this let's see, I'm trying to be fancy here. What's that word? Simulacrum? You know, it's that fancy word for that thing where you have a puppet or something that looks just like you. We need to get that to walk over here into what'll probably be some really nasty saw blades, so we can get all this machinery going. But it looks like we're going to need more than just one lever to do that. Let's see if I remember this correctly. There we go. I remember that took me a little while to figure out, but basically the fact is that you could just stab the air wherever you wanted to, and then I saw that there was this reflection here. So in this kind of game, well, I should say by this point when I was playing for the first time, I just figured that whatever the most macabre thing I had to do was probably what I should go and do. So as soon as I thought that maybe I could stab the monster and kill it in the background, I was like, yeah, that's pretty much what you'd probably have to do. So let's see with our other form here, our kind of drugged form, we can actually get into the elevator. There might be a lot of symbolism here. It's not obvious as to what it is. I tend to scratch my head about this particular scene. Come on. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right. I need to actually turn on the power first. But I think the other Susan will stay in the elevator now, so we can just return when we're ready. But I believe I need to get myself a second lever. I think. Let's see if I missed something back here. Anything? Locked again. Okay. I've already done what the old woman called the sacrifice of soul. Okay, I don't want to go in there again. Besides, I don't think there's anything left to do in that room. Fair enough. Alright, I just have to figure it out around here then. What was it? Main panel. Ah, take lever. Bingo. That's all I missed. Okay. So, we put in our makeshift one here. Then we put in our second lever here. Take the first one out. Put it back in. Down goes the third one. And put down the fourth one. So now we force the puppet into... I'm just going to call it a puppet for lack of a better word, into the grinding wheels of the machinery, and now we need to actually turn it on. So, as you might imagine, this is going to not be pretty. Can't pick up those rods anymore, or levers, so we probably don't need them. Heard the machinery going down, or at least some kind of pump mechanism. So now let's see if we can get down the elevator.
I'm finally here. What have I won? Where are you, my dear? Oh no, it's dead. Oh no, what's this?
Goodbye, otherworld.
Not a single sound reaches my ear.